Hello. I thought I would do a little studio tour with you all so you can see kind of where I work and how I try to stay organized and some of the stuff that I've been working on, because I haven't posted a lot of this stuff yet, but I wanted to share it with you guys. So yeah, here we go. So behind me are my color charts. I still haven't finished these. I still have like 6 or 7 to go, and they take forever. But yeah, these color charts are based on they're the Richard Schmidt color charts that he describes in his book Alla Prima. That might help. So each of these is one color on my palette, and then how it so cad red light mixed with nickel yellow with cad yellow, Naples Italian yellow, right? So this is how this color interacts with all the other colors on my palette, and then down with mixtures of white. But yeah, each of these sheets takes hours to make. They're very tedious, but in the end you get to really know your color palette and what each paint and each pigment really does. So they're pretty cool. I like to put them on display, and I can reference them whenever I need to. Now I'm coming over here. That's where I sit sometimes. Here's a little tripod for my phone. This is where I film some of the drawing time lapses that I do. Here is a bunch of plein air panels that are yet to be painted. There's my little calendar setup, goals, deadlines, that sort of thing. Fire can. Important for every home studio of an oil painter. Brushes and knives. These are my favorite brushes. I have a lot more, but these made the cut. This is my brush holder. It's linseed oil in here and linseed oil in there, and basically, so I clean my brushes pretty minimally. You can actually just rub them in on these kind of ribbed channel here to get a lot of the pigment out, and then you can just set them in this linseed oil and they'll stay. They won't dry out or anything like that. So I typically don't wash my brushes except every I don't know, 3 weeks or so. Palette down here. More supplies, soap, solvent, plein air stuff. This is my plein air easel. These are some projects going on right now. So this one, done a first pass on this. It's based on this little portrait study and the color study there. I use my iPad mostly for my reference photos and things. But they kind of start like this. So color study here, and then it's going to be on that panel there. I grid these out because I spend a lot of time on the composition, and I can't just start painting. I can't just place the figure exactly where I need it right away, so the grid helps me place the whole composition, the trees, the figure, everything else. Here's my little flat file system. I keep oil paper, some drawing paper. Underneath all of this, there's a bunch of other stuff. Panels. Here's my paints. Oh, there's more color charts. See, I'm still working through them. Here's a kind of a pile of my color studies. You guys can actually see some previews here. So this piece you saw, this piece right there. So usually once I am at the color study stage, they're pretty set. This is where I make all corrections. So once this thing is to a place that I like it, it becomes the finished piece pretty close. So, but if I don't like the color study, then I usually don't even make the finished painting. It's a good way to save time. So here's some color studies that will probably become paintings eventually. I made like a batch of, I don't even know how many of these paintings. So I'm just now getting through these. I've had these color studies done for months and months and months. I'm just getting through it. So this painting here is like the 4th or the 5th painting from this group of studies. So it's gonna be that one. This one. This one I'm really excited for. It's gonna be big. Here are some that I don't really think made the cut. So probably will not become a painting. That one's kind of cool, but yeah, I'm not sure if that'll be. That one I didn't really like. I mean, I go really loose with the structure, you know, the face is real wonky, but still just value-wise and composition, I don't think it really worked for me. This one I actually did do, but I did it really small. This study is bigger than the actual painting that I made of this reference composition. So sometimes if they're not perfect, but I still kind of like them, I'll make them smaller. You know, they're not like my big serious pieces, but they're more like complementary pieces that go along with the series. Here's another one. I did that one. This one I made. And then yeah, there's that. Every now and then I'll do these kind of drawings to go with the painting, just to get a sense of the portrait. Okay, that's that folder. Now down here, this is all drawing paper. It's watercolor paper, and it's toned with I think a raw sienna watercolor, and then I draw on it. It's really good for these drawings. It's called Trois Crayons. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's a 3-color charcoal drawing. So you start with like a yellow ground, and then you use black, white, and red charcoal or pastel or something, and you get almost a full sense of color temperature, so you can achieve you know, it's like color drawing with in terms of color temperature, so you can actually get some like cools, some greens, you use your black and your white as cool colors and your red as a warm color. And then certain combinations give you different effects, so it's pretty fun. So that's what all this is. And some kind of bigger, just sketch paintings. These are all on Arches oil paper. I like this stuff a lot for some pieces. There's another one. It's not really good for like multiple passes, but it's really, I do like it a lot for more alla prima stuff. Okay, here's a bunch more things. Okay, these are gouache paintings. Just a bunch of gouaches, nocturnes. Those are one of my favorite kind of landscape painting to do. Nocturnes are super fun, challenging. This one we did on a overnight backpacking trip. It was like 15 miles into this campsite, and the view was definitely worth it, but we were exhausted. We pretty much got there and collapsed and woke up and went home, but great experience still. This one's a nocturne, but it's like a morning, it's a sunrise. So all those gouaches are kind of in the depths of my drawers, just sitting around. Let's show you some more. Okay, so here's more studies, but then there's some other things. So I kind of like to keep my color studies around. It's like, if I can't keep the painting around, this is a nice way to show, basically have a record of what I've been working on. Some failed color studies that never quite became paintings. It's this one. Same with this one. This one. This one I really liked. I actually did the painting and ended up sanding it out. I didn't like how it ended, but so sometimes, typically I can sniff out a bad one in this stage, in the color study stage, but every now and then they make it to the final painting before I realize that it's not going to work. These are studies for my really big pieces that I did a few years ago. A little detail of that one, the hand there. These are nice too because you can, once you have the study and you are happy with it and you want to move on to the painting, you can actually match colors. You know, I can mix up a pool of this and I can match it directly to this to make sure it's the right color, and then mix up a pool of that color and this color, so you're not just taking a stab in the dark. Here's another rock study for texture. Bird, little bird study. That was another variation on this one. I wasn't quite sure which direction to go with the composition, so I did a few takes on it. Another one. This one is another one that I really liked the study, and I actually made the painting, but I didn't like the painting, so I sanded it out. The study though is nice. This one's still in the works. I took the study further than I usually do. There's more detail. But yeah, this one still might become something. There's some versions of this you'll see. Another one. Try to burn through these. Another one. This one was just a landscape that I liked a lot with all these crows. Did a little, this is a Colleen Berry like study. One of her paintings. These, you'll actually see where these are coming into play. These have been pretty obsessed with the like SpaceX rocket launches and how the jets and everything return and land upright. So I'm considering incorporating this sort of imagery into some paintings in the future. These are just some portraits that I've done at open life drawing sessions or portrait sessions. Just quick little 3-hour pieces. Alright, so what else there is? Oh, down here is some pieces drawing. This was another portrait session. It's on oil paper. It's kind of hard to get a good lighting on it, but I can just mount this oil paper to a panel and then frame it up the same as I would. Typically I paint directly on this surface ACM aluminum composite material panels, but you can also just mount oil paper to it. Another one that's mounted. I'm not going to pull that one out. But this piece was actually a invented landscape that I did. It's based on several of my plein air painting studies. I just kind of combined a few of them and changed some lighting around and made this piece. Pretty happy with it. Okay, off to the closet. More stuff. These are the brushes that didn't make the cut. Every now and then I grab from in here though. There's still some good ones. More paintings. These are some plein air pieces that I need to either touch up in the studio or just varnish and finish. Some drawings. Been doing a lot of these drawings in this quarantine. Just trying to stay sharp with drawings. These are also most likely going to become paintings. So it's a nice first study. Underneath it looks like there are more paintings. Plein air pieces. Sketchbooks, drawing materials, more. Oh, here's another painting. That one needs to be varnished. framed pieces, shop towels. Over here, this is my plein air backpack, my adventure backpack. Just a bunch of art materials all the way down here. I have a bunch of still life stuff in these drawers if I want to set up some still lives. And these are some paintings in progress. So that one, that more detailed one you saw, it'll become, I've kind of converted it to this circle composition. Studio cat. Here's another one. It's kind of, these were like almost experimental compositions. It wasn't, they're strange, but there's something about them that's kind of cool. So there's a portrait profile. That one and that one are both from the same photo shoot of that I did. Same photo shoot as this one. This is my brother. He was my model. Here's another weird one. That's also my brother with his lasso. Here's my drawing supplies. I got a box for my picture framing stuff. This is a whole box of finished plein air pieces, framed, ready to go, camera. So that's it. That's my studio. These are my lights. They're Costco LED lights. I like them a lot. I think they're great. Okay, thanks. I wanted to just share what's going on in the studio. There's a lot of projects that I'm working on, like those paintings. Just a lot going on, so I wanted to give you guys a behind the scenes look inside the studio. So thanks.